Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. It is time for the Micron Technology earnings. It's going to be a massive evening tonight. Get ready for Micron Technology. This could change everything tonight, and it doesn't have to look this way at all. Your portfolio could be doing this, the exact opposite. That's why the studio is green today. Let's get ready for Micron Technology earnings. It's going to be a massive night. Many people are going to get wiped out. There's a lot of crypto issues right now with people that are over leveraged, losing all their money. Remember, it doesn't need to be this way. Get ready for the Micron Technology earnings. Tap the like button. We're going to go all the way through it. We've got all the analysis. We're going to prepare you for it, and then we're going to cover the earnings call live. It's not about the numbers. It's about the tone and the guidance. That's all coming up very shortly. Tap the like button. Consider subscribing. If you are watching now, put the kettle on, or maybe you want some iced tea. It's getting pretty hot out there. We know it's very difficult around the world tonight. Many people are in all kinds of bother with temperatures over 40 degrees and no air conditioning like we are lucky to have here in America, or at least in Texas where I am. So be very, very careful. Take care of yourselves. Lots of water. But right now, though, we're going to get ready for the Micron Technology earnings. So what you need to do now is, if you're watching later, you can skip through all this. But everybody else, put the kettle on, get some iced tea, get ready for the Micron Technology earnings. It's showtime. Here we go. Micron Technologies, the market is coming down. We talked about it this morning, saying that was likely to happen. It doesn't need to be this way, though. Your portfolio could look like that today. Defensive. I've warned of this for a year and a half. No rate cuts of 2026. In fact, now we're pricing in 2 rate hikes. Crypto is going down to near nothing. 80% drops from top in your low level crypto, if you like, and then you've got 50% down from now even for Bitcoin. You've got some big drops coming, but it doesn't need to be that way. You could be up. We've gone 3x the market this year already with no options, no guessing, no gambling, no shorts. And we're doing pretty well. All the Discordians, all the Lectra members, all of us are breaking records every day, beating the market all the time. All you've got to do is face the facts, not what everybody tells you. How hard is it to find the facts? Well, it's actually quite easy. I spend all my day and night, 12 hours a day, working on your behalf, talking to banks, Ripple, CEOs, hedge fund managers, Wall Street managers, you name it. I speak to them and I basically find out what's going on. And essentially, I do things differently. There's no ads here. No one sponsors the show. No one tells me what to say. I've got no ulterior motive other than providing the best service. So tonight, we are talking Micron Technologies. How is that going to shape the market? Well, right now, as you can see, it's bringing everything down. Crypto is down. The S&P's falling down. Doesn't need to be this way. There's always a way to make money. I always talk about it. There's always a bull market. There's always a way to make money. The hard part is to keep it. So the studio is bright green tonight because we're hitting all-time highs and we could hit $1 million just tonight if things go the way I think they're going to go. But anyway, the earnings call is exactly 1 hour and 28 minutes away. In about half an hour, we'll get the numbers. We'll know exactly. So between now and then, we're going to prepare for it. We're going to go through facts. We're going to go through things that actually make actual sense. Not sponsored by anyone, to tell you actually how things are and how it is. And during this event, tonight, we are going to look at the things that most of you will not look at. For example, the intrinsic valuation. What is the company actually worth? $664. This is my models. This is the way I put together my strategies. This is why for 3 years I've beaten the market consistently by 3 and 4xing every year. Better than any hedge fund manager in the world. Go and check. No one has got numbers even close to what we do here on this show because we tell you how it is. We can do things they can't do. And we don't have an ulterior motive or greed or incentive to do it. We just tell you how things are. That's the real value of Micron. Now, where's it going? Could it fall to $600 tonight? And what if it does? Will it bring the market down? Well, it will for some. For me, it could take me to $1 million tonight. This isn't just my portfolio. This is part of it. If we go to this main part here, you'll see there's just under $750,000 just in this part here. The Roth, the IRA, the ISA all make up just under $1 million. And I started with $5,000. Think of it. So let's get straight into Micron. All the news you need, and hopefully this will provide you the information you need. And I apologize if I get any issues today. I have been struggling greatly since all the apps got updated. There's bugs in the system all over the place at the moment, but I'm working with it, and hopefully I'll keep it going. I've got backups for every kind of conceivable outcome. It just makes things, for me, a bit difficult, but you shouldn't notice anything. So let's get straight into, and I just had one of my famous issues right there, but you didn't see it, right? Okay, you never see it. Let's carry on. Micron. Micron is about to report in fact, let me just start this from here. Here we go. Micron Technology is about to report a number so large that Wall Street does not even have a clean way to describe it. Stay with me on this live event. We're going to be here all the way through until the earnings and past it, because the most important of tonight's story is not the headline. You're all focusing on headlines. It has nothing to do with the headline. The headline number everyone is watching is irrelevant. That's why the market is moving so much. No one has a clue what they're looking at. It is something buried in the guidance that almost nobody is talking about. When I say that, I mean that. I don't just say these things. Nobody is, because it doesn't sell videos. It's not exciting to anyone. They're not focusing on it. I'm paying very close attention to it. And once I show it to you, you'll understand why the earnings call could decide the next 2 years of the entire AI trade. Now that is one hell of a statement to make. I think you'll agree. The numbers and the information I'm going to give you could set up the next 2 years of the AI trade. And if you miss the end of this live event, you will miss the one number that actually matters. Tonight, Micron reports after the bell. The call is scheduled for an hour and 15 from now, but we'll know numbers way before then, so please stand by. And by the time most of you go to bed, the entire narrative around artificial intelligence and the semiconductor industry could shift dramatically. This is not a small regional company reporting a quiet quarter. This is one of the most important hardware suppliers in the entire AI build-out. And tonight, the market finds out whether the story is still believable. Understand what that means and look at what the other side of the market is doing while this is happening. This is my portfolio. This is my money. This is what the Discordians, the Electrum members, this is where we are. We're always beating the market, not by a bit, but by a lot. But this is where Micron is going. So let's set the stage. And because you need to understand how big tonight is, you have to understand how big last year already was. 1 year ago, in the same quarter, Micron reported $9.3 billion in revenue. Now, that's important to understand because it hasn't always been like that for Micron. That alone was a record. That was an outstanding number. The year before that, revenue was $6.81 billion. So Micron was already on a tear. Memory chips were already in demand. Investors were already paying attention. That was the baseline. That was supposed to be the high bar that would be hard to clear again anytime soon. So tonight, analysts are not expecting Micron to clear that bar. They are expecting Micron to obliterate it. And that is the problem we face right now. Everything in the market is overbought. Inflation is going back up. Interest rates are going back up. Oil has already built in inflation we can't get rid of. This war we had in Iran has broken everything. It has. I know you don't want to hear it, but we just tell you how it is on this channel. That's why we consistently win. It is a very scary time if you are in the wrong stocks and businesses right now. Wall Street is looking for revenue to rise nearly 285%. Listen to that number. I'll say it again. Wall Street is expecting a 285% rise year over year. Think about what that actually means. People think it just keeps going on forever. It doesn't. This is not a beat. That is not a strong quarter. That is a number that 18 months ago would have sounded like a typo. $9.3 billion was a record number not long ago. Tonight, the street expects something in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 times that amount. Think about that for a moment. The whole market could fall over. And then next week, the week after, we have SpaceX entering the Nasdaq. Get ready what I have said is coming in September, October, the biggest crash in history. And it's no joke. And it doesn't need to be like that. Look at my portfolio from 5 grand, just under $1 million. There's 910 actually. This is only part of it. Okay? Stay focused. And here is where it gets even stranger, because revenue is not even the wildest number on the table tonight. Micron guided for non-GAAP earnings per share of, wait for it, $19.15, give or take 40 cents. In the same quarter last year, earnings per share were $1.91. Read those two numbers back to back. $1.91, $19.15. That is not growth. That is an entirely different company wearing the same ticker symbol. This is why tonight is so ridiculous and so upside down. If we don't have a crash, I'll eat my flipping hat. I'm so confident of it. I've put every penny I have into Coca-Cola, every piece of margin, everything I've got, and it's paying off. And we haven't even started yet. This could be $100 grand day if it goes the way I think it might. Now, I want you to sit with that just for a second. Think of those numbers I just gave you, because most of you watching have lived through plenty of earnings sessions. We've covered hundreds of earnings over the last 5 years. In fact, on Friday, it's our 5th birthday on the show. In 3 days' time, in 2 days' time, actually, it's our 5th birthday. We've been live 12 hours a day, all day, every day. It's what we've done. We've turned down every single sponsor that has offered me $30,000, $40,000, and $50,000 to sponsor the channel. And we say no to every single one. And to celebrate it all, and there are only a few left now, you can get this. This is our very own, there it is in the chat, our very own birthday mug. We are 5 years old on Friday. All Discord members, all Electrum YouTube members, you get 20% off, and the deal is in your channel's pages. You'll find it. It's a very exciting day on Friday. Hopefully you'll all join us for the party and get yourself a mug. It might even be here on time because I've front run all the orders. Got everything ready to go. If you buy today, you just might even get it on time. We've got some next day delivery stuff. We're better than Amazon now. We had a real fun with it this morning in Discord. Anyway, you have seen companies beat by a few cents. You have seen companies guide up by 5 or 10%, and the stock pops. What Micron is potentially about to put on the screen tonight is a year-over-year earnings increase that some estimates put at well over 900%. I mean, this is so insane. This is why my Coca-Cola is running today. It's unbelievable. $1,000 now, Micron. If that number holds, it will be one of the most violent earnings re-ratings in the history of the chip sector. In history, there'll never be any number like it. And that is what you're all banking on. So why is this happening? Why is a memory chip company suddenly printing numbers that look like a typo? The answer is not just that Micron is selling more chips. The answer is that Micron is selling chips at completely different prices than it used to. That is what it's about. It's not about how many, it's about the price. We've all got hysterical on prices. I call it enterprise spending, where Google buys off Amazon, Amazon buys off Apple, backwards and forwards, inflating the numbers, and we end up in the most ridiculous situation you could ever imagine. The biggest crash in history is something I am thinking is around the corner. Anyway, and that is the part of the story that separates the people who understand what is happening from the people who are just watching a stock go up. Here is the margin story, and this is where I need you to pay close attention, because this is the difference between a company growing and a company transforming. Back in the fiscal second quarter, Micron's adjusted gross margin came in at 74.9%. That alone was already an extraordinary number for a hardware manufacturer. Tonight, the company has guided for gross margin of approximately 81%. An 81% gross margin on a product that not long ago was treated by the market as a boring, cyclical commodity. This is the part Market Watch picked up on, and it is in the single most important concept in tonight's entire report. Micron's revenue growth right now is not just volume. It is not simply that. Micron is shipping more chips out the door. A huge piece of this growth is flowing straight through to the bottom line at extremely high profitability because memory prices themselves have surged. In other words, Micron is not just selling more, Micron is selling the same chips for dramatically more money. And almost all of that extra dollar is falling straight into profit. Hence the price. That is pricing power. That is the kind of pricing power that used to belong to luxury brands and monopolies, not memory chip manufacturers. That's why this whole sector is completely different than it once was. Right. Any moment now, we'll get the numbers. I'll bring them to you. We're watching all the news as it comes to us, and I'll bring it to you live, so please stand by. I'm also going to cover the earnings when we get there. We're not there yet. We've got some way to go, so that's why I want to carry on with all this preparation. So it tells you something critical about the supply and demand balance in the market right now. When a company can raise prices this aggressively and still sell out, it means demand is so far ahead of supply that customers have almost no leverage left to negotiate prices. Which brings us to why this is happening. I'm just having a little look. News is starting to break. This is why this is happening in the first place. Micron's own CEO has said it plainly. Memory has become what he called a strategic asset in the AI era. Think about how strange that sentence would have sounded 5 years ago. Memory chips were never considered strategic. They were considered a cost line, a commodity. The whole industry is on its head right now. Something every laptop and server needed, but nothing anyone fought over. The CEO is telling you that that era is over, and it's over for good, according to the CEO. Strong demand and tight supply are now driving record results. I'm watching news literally breaking all the time. The moment I get the numbers, I'll bring it to you. Quarter after quarter, and the company that makes the memory the entire AI build out depends on suddenly finds itself holding enormous leverage, and that is where Micron Technology is today. This is also why the stock has become one of the defining trades of this entire AI cycle. Reuters reported that Micron shares have climbed roughly 740% over the past year. 740%. That is not a typo. And that is not a meme stock pumped by retail traders on a message board. That is one of the largest, most established names in American semiconductors, moving like a speculative biotech stock, and doing it on the back of actual reported earnings growth. However, will it change tonight? I'm getting news coming in, not the numbers that we're looking for yet, but rumors, speculation. We're not going to share that. We're not interested in that. All right, as you can see, the stock is starting to come up now, and at the same time, you are seeing defensive starting to go down. I'm not selling, though. Not selling tonight. Well, I may do, but not just yet. So that surge that we've seen has pushed Micron's market value to somewhere around $1.2 trillion. A trillion-dollar company built on memory chips in a little over a year. Now, here is where I have to be honest with you. This is important because this is exactly the part of the story most YouTube channels will skip. Okay? They're there, sponsored by people. They're there to try to get clicks. I am here to find the way to always win and always beat the market. That's what I do. And buying pumps and getting excited and FOMOing never, ever works. And that's why, despite all of this, I am up 3 and 4x on the market 3 years in a row. You don't do that by speculating. You don't do that by gambling and guessing. All right? So most channels, social media, CNBC, Bloomberg, Jim Cramer, the lot, will skip this because it is less exciting than the headline. And that doesn't sell. That's why I've got 277 people here, not 277,000. I just tell you how it is. I'm here to invest. You're sharing in my approach to investing. That's it. I'm not trying to sell you the video. Okay? When a stock runs 740% in a year, when a company's market value crosses $1 trillion, the danger is no longer whether the business is good. The danger becomes whether perfection has already been priced in. There is the issue. Now then, Micron Technology is going up fast as Coca-Cola is going down. Do I sell? Do I get out? We shall see. Breaking news, Trump is said to advance 700 million jet engine sale to Turkey, and Google's Gemini 3.5 Flash can now build agents to appropriate across platforms, and just rumors on Micron yet. Nothing worth sharing with you just as yet. So Reuters quoted analysts warning exactly this. Even if Micron beats tonight, even if the company delivers an historic quarter, and it would be, the stock can still fall in the guidance, is even slightly softer than expected. If margins show the faintest sign of pressure, or if management's tone on the call sounds even little less confident than Wall Street has assumed. This is the trap that catches so many investors. They watch a company report a great quarter, the kind of quarter that would have been front page news 2 years ago, and then they watch the stock fall anyway. And they cannot understand why. The answer is always the same. The market was not pricing in a great quarter. The market was pricing in a flawless one. And the bar for flawless gets higher every single time the stock goes up. So if you are watching tonight's call, or if you are checking the numbers, the moment they hit your phone, your device, live on the show here, I want you to resist the urge to just look at the top line revenue number and the earnings per share number and assume you know how the stock will react. Those two numbers are already mostly expected. They are backed in. Wall Street has modeled them for weeks. The number that actually moves this stock tonight, the number that decides whether this turns into a victory lap or a gut punch, is something else entirely. And that is what I want to leave you with as we get ready for the call to begin. 10 mid-cap consumer discretionary stocks posting the weakest momentum trends. We've got some news coming out. How are the major earnings before the open on Wednesday? Home builder, real estate, mortgage stocks climb after housing bill passes. Bitcoin ETFs bleed 6.4 billion in 30 days. We know that more and more institutions are dumping crypto now and moving into defensive ETFs. I've shared with you that information, and I've even told you when it happened at 3 o'clock in the morning, several nights in a row. I've actually shown you, predicted it would happen, and it did. Anyway, so this is the part almost nobody is framing correctly. And before I get to that, I want to pause on something because I think it is genuinely fascinating and it connects directly to what is coming. This entire AI build out, every data center, every server rack, every cluster of GPUs, training the next generation of models, all of it needs enormous amounts of memory to function. Compute gets all the headlines. Processors get the magazine covers, but behind every headline grabbing AI chip announcements, there's a quieter, less glamorous fight happening over who controls the memory. That feeds those chips. And right now, the company that controls a huge piece of that fight is the one reporting earnings tonight, Micron, and we're covering it. I've just got some Apple iPhone prices increase, might be lower than estimated. That's interesting. Apple are increasing prices lower than estimated. That's a worry for the market. That's a worry for the overall market. Defensive Coca-Cola doesn't like that. It's going down. Apple won't like that either. Let me have a quick look at Apple. How did that react to that news? I'm just seeing data coming across the Bloomberg terminals now. Yeah, Apple has just suddenly started to move down on that news. So not a good night for everything, really. Not just tech, but defensive could trim a little bit on that. That's an economy worry as well. No surprise with interest rates potentially going up twice this year now. Trump must be screaming, going, why can't they cut rates? Well, because inflation keeps going up. That's why, and the war didn't help, and it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. Anyway, so tonight, are you ready? This is why I keep telling you, do not check out, do not focus on the numbers tonight. It's not about that. The real story is the guidance. It's what they say on the report and how they use their words. Anyway, one single question buried inside it, and here it is. The single most important thing happening on tonight's call has nothing to do with the trailing quarter. It is forward-looking, and it is this. Does Micron confirm that memory demand can continue to outpace supply for at least 2 more years? That is a massive statement to make, but that is what we need. Let me repeat that again. Can Micron tonight on the earnings call, can they confirm that memory demand will continue to outpace supply? That's what you need for this to be good tonight, for at least 2 more years. And that is one insane ask, but that is what we're asking tonight. Okay? Because everything hinges on it tonight. If Micron's management stands up tonight and says with confidence that this imbalance between AI-driven demand and available memory supply is not a temporary spike, that is structural. That will persist for years rather than quarters. Can they say that? That's what they need to say. Then this entire trade, the 740% run, the $1 trillion valuation, the 81% across margins, all of it gets a green light to keep going. Wow. That is what we're looking for. Now we are seconds away. We're starting to get dribs and drabs. You can see what's happening. Micron is going up. Coca-Cola is going down. Defensive, it's a number 1 position. It's what I'm all in. I'm not selling it, though. I'm not buying into this. You have to decide whether you believe this or not. Keep your eye on it. We'll get numbers in a second. That single sentence on the call could be worth more to the stock price than the actual earnings beat itself. And we're going to cover it live. We're going to hear it as it happens, not 5 minutes later as it happens. That's why tonight's earnings call is absolutely critical. So, but And here's the other side of the coin. If the management hedges, if they talk about new supply coming online faster than expected, if they soften their language around how long this pricing environment can last, if they suggest that 2 years is optimistic and this might really be 12 to 18 months of extraordinary pricing power, competitors and new capacity will catch up and the stock will fall. This is how hard it is tonight for this to be a good night for Micron. I cannot see it. That is the scenario that triggers exactly the kind of pullback Reuters have warned about. Now, once it starts, it won't stop. This could be the beginning of the major pullback. I just don't know. No one can, but I am prepared. In $500,000 of margin and 920 grand in one stock and one stock alone. Coca-Cola, the number one defensive position in the world right now. That's it. I've got all my eggs in one basket. I feel very confident with my decision to do that. So, what are we going to get? We've warned about it. Not because the quarter was bad, because the future got less certain. This is the difference between trading the news and understanding the news. Anyone can wait for the headline number to hit and react in real time. But if you understand the real battle tonight is about the durability of this memory supercycle, not the size of this single quarter, you will understand the stock's reaction far better than almost anyone reacting to the press release alone. That's why I've tried to bring you this angle of the story. So here is what I'm watching for tonight. The moment this call begins, I am watching the tone. Hertz shares crater on stock offering, lowered guidance. That's not good. Schwab US dividend equity ETF declares quarterly distribution of 0.25. Yeah, I'm watching the Bloomberg terminals all the time now. So anyway, I'm not interested in the transcript. I'm not interested in the number that comes out. I'm interested in the tone, and we don't get that until the call goes live. I am watching whether the management uses words like sustained, structural, and multi-year, or whether they start qualifying everything with words like elevated for now and near term. Those word choices, more than any single digit on the income statement, are going to tell you whether Wall Street treats tonight as the confirmation of a multi-year AI infrastructure boom, or the moment the most extreme expectations finally meet reality. This could be a very, very dramatic evening. More stuff coming across the wires. 10 large cap consumer. Yes. Right. Nothing there yet. Anyway, we're just moments away. We're 45 minutes from the call beginning, but we're moments away from getting the numbers, so please stand by. The conversation around AI infrastructure could change tonight. Everything could change. Memory pricing and where the smart money rotates next. This is the point. Rotation trade. I teach you all the time on Discord. We go over this every day. So, anyway, next is going to look different. Everything could change and everything could look different tomorrow. Be ready. I'll be watching this one live event with you. I'm going to cover it all live and I'm going to be ready to rock and roll. So, listen, folks. We've got 45 minutes to go. In about 5 minutes, I'm expecting any moment now it to drop on the wires. Let me keep an eye on, you can see it rotating literally inch by inch. As Micron goes down, Coca-Cola keeps going up. I'm 100% in one stock at the moment. I don't believe in stop losses. It's not what I do. Don't believe in hedges, sponsorship deals. I just do what I do. I buy value. That's it. And I get great information. That's it. Let me go to the chat right now. We've got seconds to go. So what we're going to do, we're going to wake you all up because you're all asleep. I cannot believe in one of the most important earnings calls for years, you're all asleep. So, going to wake you up. Ready? Okay. There's 343 watching. In 1 minute from now, we're going to have 150 likes. Why 50% of the people watching? Because 50% of you aren't signing to Google and you can't react and do anything. They just don't sign in for some mad reason. That's why you don't see 300 people in the chat. Half people who use YouTube don't sign in. They don't want to be known. God knows why, but that's a statistic I've never understood. Anyway, here we go. Are you ready to rumble? I want 150 likes in 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Here we go. The call is around the corner. Smash the like button. Let me refresh the screen, see exactly where we are, and I'll share with you on the screen. Here we go. 87 likes. There it is, live on the screen. 87, 99. That jumped quick. 150, please, in just 1 minute. Tap the like button. Consider subscribing. Wake up, everybody. 111. Boom. There we go. Have we rolled around the subscribers today? Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's see if we've got any subscribers. Anyone join our community? Let's have a look in 3, 2, 1, 5. Oh, there we go. 115,679. Thank you very much indeed. Back to the like screen. How's it going? 134. We're moving nicely. Come on, any second now, we'll have the numbers. I'm loving it. Tap the like button, everybody. 145, 5 more, and we can get straight to it. 153, we did it. Let's smash it. Woo woo! I'm loving it. I've just realised the bloody sound effects. Oh, they were on. Tell me they were on all the way through that. They were on, right? Yes, they were. Just when I changed that scene. That's okay. We've done it anyway. Let's fade it out. Let's get back to it. Micron. Coca-Cola's going up. Micron's going down. Waiting for the numbers. Stand by. There's my portfolio going up again. It could be $1 million tonight across my portfolio. Remember, I started with $5,000. I've beaten the market 3 years in a row, 3 and 4x. That's what you do if you don't have any sponsorship and you're not here to make money. You're here to protect money and protect those that watch the show. That's what I do. That's why I consistently beat the market. If you're selfish and greedy and tell lies, you lose money. If you help people, you always make money. Guys, we got seconds to go. So before we get there, any second now, I'd like to introduce you to our brand new marketplace. This is very cool. On Amazon and Shopify. How cool is this? We're right up there now with the big boys. There is the shop in the channel. You can engage on the shop. You can get requests, things that you might want to get from the shop as well. Did that show on the screen? Damn it, it didn't. Got to sort this out. There's another issue going on right now. There's always something going on. And when you're monitoring everything yourself, there's always something to worry about. There is a shop right now. Right, here it is. The 5-year anniversary mug is nearly sold out. There's only a few left now. It's gone limited. It's our 5th birthday. People collect these. We got a really big mug. Great prices, sometimes next day delivery, the best prices, the best services, the best quality. I front run and bought all the stock in advance to bring you the best prices. Seriously, I'm not joking, I have. And there's some great stuff. There's a mug, a really big mug, a small mug. You've also got on the shop, you've got the glass now. You've got the Lucasades t-shirt with all of the images of the stock market in it. The Bloody Idiot t-shirt. Yeah, I'm always calling people bloody idiots. You got all these different modelers look who model it for us. So you can see here, look. And what makes it even cooler, no one does this. I pay extra for this, but it's all about quality. Look at this. All of ours are licensed branded. In the washing instructions, inside is our very own logo. That's our very own licensed products. Everything now is our own. I'm loving it. I'm so proud of that. It's really kind of cool. So there you go. If you want that, it's martynlucasshop.com. I've given you the link in the chat. Right, do we have the numbers yet? Yield Max Hood option income strategy announces weekly distribution of 64 cents. The biggest scam going. Do not buy Yield Max. It's the worst, stupidest thing. It's for people that are just stupid. And that's what my t-shirt says. Bloody idiot. Really is bloody idiots who do Yield Max. It's the biggest con ever. And I've shown you this over and over again. Right, we're waiting now. Any second now, we'll have numbers, and then we've got the call. So let me bring everybody on the chat. MU Volatile King, RC, there he is. Rhino Skin, hello everybody. How you doing, mate? Marvel might do a Micron. Road to Gold FC. How are you tonight? MU up, down, and out. RV Capitalist. Let's have a look. Will the AI bubble continue? Road to Gold. Well, we shall see. Everything is on a knife edge. I totally agree. Is England still in the football championship, you mean? Of course they are. Of course they are. Let's go wakey, Crypto Savage. Keep it going. Lucas Adams, great name. Lucas Adams. Got 800 in SOXL. Pray for me, my boys. Well, that's not going to help you, is it? Too many people do that. I've had people on the channel say to me that they woke up this morning, God told them to buy Bitcoin. God doesn't tell anyone to buy Bitcoin, all right? And if you are religious, by the way, you might remember that when Jesus was walking around the market, the stock market, he tipped over the tables. God, Jesus, whichever, they don't like the stock market, all right? So anyone who wakes up and says, God told me to buy Bitcoin, there's something wrong with you, all right? That doesn't happen, all right? So be careful. It's not how the stock market works. God would much rather you go for a walk and pick up some litter and be useful than to do stuff like that. But I've seen channels that actually do that. They have a huge following of people following them because they all said, yeah, I know, I was told that as well. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, there's one guy called Omar. He's got 2.5-3 million subscribers. And he started by saying God told him to buy FFIE. It's a bankrupt company. And guess what? Everyone lost their money. Absolutely bonkers. But anyway, that's what they did. It's beyond words. Anyway, Micron Technology is going up now, and Coca-Cola is going down. The opposite. Who's going to win tonight? Me, all in on Coca-Cola, nearly $1 million now across all the portfolio, or is it going to be Micron? Well, we shall see. We'll know soon. Any moment now, I'll have the numbers. I'm waiting. I'm on standby. Okay. The call starts in 35 minutes. Have we got any more questions? Oh, hang on. Tech investors, look for July's QQQ historical juggernaut. Yes, we've got a big issue with Elon Musk, SpaceX about to join the Nasdaq, which will crash it as well. Everyone is forced to buy. Look at this, another breaking story. Virgin Galactic now as good as bankrupt. What a very, 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 very sad story. I said to you, if it went below $3, the likelihood of bankruptcy now is 90%. We're 273. And if that sounds okay to you, remind yourself where it came from. We are now down 98.7% from its IPO. 98% from its IPO. Look at that. It used to, if you do take into account the reverse splits, and guess what? There's more coming. 920. We're now 273. Me and 5 others could literally buy the entire company. I've got a consortium. If I make a phone call, 5 of us could buy the entire company from where it stands right now. That is insane. All right? And we've spoke about it. And we've thought about it, and if the management were changed, we probably would. But as long as Eric Kearney and Michael Cole-Glazier are in the driving seat, the product is great. We just can't do it. And it's the saddest story was ever told. The technology, the achievements have been legendary. But sadly, they're run by people that just help themselves to the money. And it's really quite sad. Anyway, there it is. Micron. Watch it now, look. Defensive is going down as fast as Micron is going up. Now, which way will it go? If Micron goes down, Coke goes up, tonight I become a millionaire. Or will it go the other way? Well, we shall see. I've got a good idea, but We shall see if I'm right or not. Let's keep our eye. Any news coming out yet? I'm watching the wires. I've got Bloomberg terminal information coming through. Let's go back to the chat. Creates, I'm not sure what that means. Cheap doesn't always mean value. No, it doesn't. You're absolutely right. A man told me to buy Coca-Cola. Just bought 764 shares of Microsoft. Stephen Lewandowski, our oil baron in the house tonight. One of our oil whales tonight is in the chat. I have Coca-Cola long-term, 5 years running long. Congratulations, Johnny. Wow, look at you. But I don't ever just hold anything. I'm a trader. In long-term investor, but I always trade, and I always beat the market doing that. And 3 years in a row, I've beaten the market 2 and 3x. 3 years in a row. No options, no shorts, no guessing, no gambling. Puts on MU at 780. Says, Yield Max Nvidia option income strategy announces weekly distribution of 10 cents. Weekly distribution? God. Yield Max, the biggest con. Do never get yourself a Yield Max ETF. Read the small print and you'll find out you are capped in what you can earn. It is ridiculous. It is all leveraged. It's all pointless. And idiots buy it. Absolute idiots buy it. The people that buy it are people that follow YouTube channels, and there's like lots of little cult followings that have all this Yield Max stuff. And the people that run it just laugh at you because every one of them goes pop in the end and they just start another one. It's unbelievable how they get away with it, but they do. Virgin will not be the only bankruptcy. There's more to come. Yes, oh yes. A lot. 80% of the Russell will be gone in 10 years. That's the way that works. Google will join the Dow Jones, says Sipote. I can't verify that. I've not got that information, but that's what he said. But big buy, Stephen. Very nice. Yes, didn't win. What do you think happens, up or down? Well, if I thought Micron was going to explode tonight, I would have sold my Coca-Cola this morning because I'm not just in, I'm all in. I'm all in with $500,000 margin. I'm in 910 grand, all in Coca-Cola with no stop losses. If I thought for a moment that this was going to be a great night for Micron, and I talked to banks, hedge fund managers, Wall Street managers, and I've been right for 3 years, I would have sold it all and bought Micron. But guess what? I haven't. Let's see what happens. Right, it's 30 minutes for the call. But any second now, we'll get numbers. I'm going to refresh the call, make sure it's good. Yes, it is. Now I'm going to refresh that, make sure it's good. Very, very exciting. Please stand by. Liz, how you doing? Effing Yield Max, yeah. It's for idiots. I'm not being funny. It is actually for idiots. There's an idiot born every day. You know what I'm saying? There are people who buy anything. There are people that will be promising. I've interviewed people who have done this, and they then have a following on YouTube, and they talk about it, and they literally have no idea what they're talking about. They've never read the prospectus. They've never read the fact that the profit is capped. I mean, what stock is the profit capped? It has to be because the way they fund themselves, it's the biggest joke. I don't even know how it's legal. I guess it's in the small print, so you agree to it. It's your own bloody fault, I suppose. But anyway, nonsense. If you want to buy Nvidia, buy Nvidia. Don't buy Nvidia Yield Max because they're going to give you, they're saying here, they're giving you a weekly distribution of 10 cents. Weekly. All the time. Dividends payout. Well, how does that happen? Because the stock keeps going down, down, down like a flipping idiot. Yeah, it's a joke. Anyway. Absolute nuts. What's it called? YVDA? Is that the one? Is it called? What's it called? Yield Max. Let me find one for you. As we wait for the numbers to come in. I've never in my life seen anything so ridiculous. There it is. Oh, here is one of them. Look at this. Right. Look at this. What idiot buys this? Look at this. This is look at this, folks. Look at this. This is Yield Max. This is Nvidia Yield Max. One of the best businesses in the world, right? Nvidia. Brilliant. You buy it through Yield Max. Oh, they pay you 10 cents every week. Oh, I get free money. And then your stock does that consistently. Look at this. And they're all the same. They all do this. And then they go pop. And then they restructure it. And it's just an absolute con. I cannot even believe anyone even allows this stuff to exist. But it does. And people buy it. And I've had people tell me it's the best thing in the world. I get dividends every single week. But you just sell the stock then. I mean, that's all you've done. And you've given it to the management. Look at the management fees. Look at the cost of this stuff. Where is it? It's all leveraged. It's all pointless. It's all ridiculous. Look, expense ratio. You 1.09 you pay to lose money. You pay 1.9% to lose money. But don't worry, we pay you a dividend out of your losses. I mean, how is that even legal? How is that even legal? But it is. And I get people all the time telling me, Martyn, you're missing out, mate. You could get all these dividends. I go, right, yeah. That's why I'm beating the... there's a reason why I'm beating the market 3 years in a row. Because people like you get leverage and do stupid stuff and give me all your money. That's how I win all the time. Right, the bell's gone. Here we go. The bell has gone, and let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble with Micron. Now then, what's going to happen now? Micron is turning green and Coca-Cola is falling. It's literally rotating. People are going, I'm taking money out of Coca-Cola and I'm going to buy Yield Max. I think that's a mistake. In fact, I'll go as far as saying, I know it's a mistake. How do I know it's a mistake? Well, because I talk to the banks. All of them. I talk to the CEOs. I talk to hedge fund managers, Ripple, CFO at Ripple. I talk to Robin Hood. And I know, and I've not just said it. In fact, I'm going to ask everyone now to fact check me. Have I said several days in a row at this time in the morning? I've done it like 5, 6 times. I've told you on this day, at 2 o'clock in the morning, between 2 and 3 o'clock, you will see tech go down, crypto go down, and dividends go and defensive go up, like Coca-Cola. If I've said that, and I've told you the day and the time it was going to happen. So if I said that, for everyone watching tonight, I've got a lot of my members watching, answer the question in the chat. Did I share that on Discord? Did I share that with my YouTube Electrum members? Yes or no? If I did, say yes. If it's not true and I'm making it all up, then please say no. And I would love everyone to fact check me. And you will see, this is not guessing, this is not gambling. So I am very, very confident putting my money into Coca-Cola is the right thing to do. Why do I think that? Because that is what the banks and the hedge funds and the managers and the people with the money are doing. Retail is jumping on the bandwagon right now, and I'm going nowhere near it. All right? So anyway, up she goes, up she goes. No one's got the numbers yet. We're still waiting for them. I'm literally watching the Bloomberg terminals. If you just tuned in, please tap the like button. Consider subscribing. It's a wonderful evening to be alive. I'm sorry for everyone around the world who's baking hot. Apparently global warming isn't really happening. And, the whole of Europe now is burning. And people in England at 40 degrees centigrade, think of that, folks. That's over 110 or something like that Fahrenheit. Without air conditioning, with a small roof, with a low ceiling. Imagine being in a little English cottage right now at 40 degrees. It's like putting yourself in the oven. That's really, really not good. Right, we're waiting for the numbers to come through. We've got the earnings call lined up. They won't show anything on the screen until for another 11 minutes. In 11 minutes, they will show us. But for now, we are waiting. We're seeing Micron go up. We're seeing Coca-Cola now start to hold. It doesn't want to go any lower. That's a really good sign. I'm very happy with that. And the numbers are out. Okay, it is a beat. Estimated 20 cents per share. And we've got 25 cents per share. It's a beat. But in my mind, it's nowhere near good enough. But we'll see. All right, as I said to you before, it's not the number. What retail is doing now is they're buying the number. They're excited. They're seeing the number go up and they're going, oh, I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. I'm buying it. That is a mistake because Coca-Cola now is holding. So here we go. That's what it looks visually like. Now, what we needed is to see it up here. All right, this is kind of like better than expected, but it needed to be up here. So let's see what the market does. It was $20 a share. We got 25. Is that amazing? Is that great? Well, it's all about the guidance. Remember, we just spent the last hour talking about it. So let's get ready. Let's get ready. We want now Micron, none. Here it comes. Here comes the numbers we've been waiting for now. Let me bring it on the screen, and then we've got the call itself. So Micron, non-GAAP EPS. Let me do my numbers now. Of $25.11. Beat by 4.83. Revenue of $41.46 billion. Beats by 6.2 billion. Okay, Micron. Revenue, Micron's record. Now, here's the words we're looking for. Coca-Cola is holding. The Micron is going up. Here's the numbers we need. Let's digest the numbers. The actual words, sorry. Micron's record fiscal Q3 financial results and even stronger outlook for Q4 reflect the strategic value of memory in the AI era, said Sanjay Mehrotra, Chairman, President, and CEO of Micron Technology. Micron is investing at record levels in technology, products, and supply to address our customers' rapidly growing demand. This is all the right words, by the way. This is great. This is great so far. We believe our multi-year, there it is, our multi-year strategic customer agreements will significantly enhance the durability and predictability of Micron's strong financial performance. These were all the words I put in the build-up. These were all the words I told you we were looking for. However, if you've noticed, the Micron is going up on this news, and if we look over here, defensive, it hasn't sold off since the announcement. So that tells me the market is like, yeah, okay, great, but we're holding. It's a I'm 100%, if you're wondering why I'm showing you that, I'm 100% in Coca-Cola. I've got nearly $1 million now in Coca-Cola, right? Across my Roth, my ISA, and the main account. It's just holding. If that was plummeting, if it was plummeting, I would be wrong. And I would say I'm wrong. But it's not. It's holding, okay? Micron is going up, yes, but what comes next? Will people take profit from here and rotate back into Coca-Cola? That's, of course, personally what I'm hoping for. You might be in Micron and go and stuff that. I want to keep going up. We believe our multi-year, now that was the word I was looking for. In my report earlier, I said that is the word, not months, not quarters, multi-year. That's why I gave you the whole breakdown before this event, to bring you all of this. For the third quarter of 2026, investments in capital expenditures were $7.1 billion and adjusted free cash flow was $18.3 billion. Micron ended the quarter with cash, marketable investments, and restricted cash of $30.2 billion. On June 24, 26, Micron's board of directors declared a quarterly dividend of 0.15 per share. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Payable by cash. I mean, $1,000 stock, you get 15 cents for holding it. Yeah, okay, let's buy that then. And why would you even bother with that? Anyway, I don't know. It's a bit funny. Anyway, so there you go. This is actually looking quite good. I've got to be honest, it's better than I thought. So far, I'm wrong. However, the overall economy, the overall market doesn't work that way. Now it gets really exciting. We've got the numbers, we've had the initial pop, and here goes Coca-Cola starting to sell. So, I'm wrong so far. My bet has not paid off. Am I worried? No, I'm not, because I don't feel it was good enough. And what I think is going to happen is this pump will produce profit taking, and it will go back into Coca-Cola. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I get margin called and get wiped out. Am I wrong? I've not been wrong for 3 years. Maybe tonight will be the first time and I'll be wrong. Who knows? Anyway, let's have a look. We are seconds away now. Now, let me give you some more numbers because we're about to bring you the live earnings call. It gets really, really, really exciting now. Let me go back to the news, trending news. Hang on. So here we go. Oil stocks pull back as tech sell-off persists. So other stocks are selling off, Bitcoin crashing, but odds turn darker as MicroStrategy lead crypto stocks bloodbath. Yeah, MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, is going to be forced now to sell a lot more Bitcoin. So they're in big trouble now. Let me show you some numbers I've just got. This is important for Micron. Down goes my position now. Up goes Micron. So far, I'm getting it wrong. I'm not worried, though. I'm very happy with my position. We've got a strong buy from Wall Street, a strong buy at these levels tonight of quant. Valuation B+, the same as last month, a quarter ago. Growth A+, the same as a quarter ago. No slowdown. Profitability A+, no slowdown. Momentum A+, no slowdown. Revisions B-, just revising down. One little crack there. Now then, let's look forward. This is the number you all need. Are you ready? Okay, let's give you the number that's most important. Tap the like button, everybody. Tap the like button. Let's get 500 likes now in 1 minute. 500 likes and I'll give you the number that matters. And we are 15 minutes away from the call. Are you ready? Everyone tap the like button. Let's get 500 likes in 1 minute. We're up to 229. We can double that. There's 1,000 people watching now. Let's get into it. Are you ready? Subscribe. Get ready. Coca-Cola is starting to find support. Micron is starting to sell off. Come on. Of course, you might want Micron to go up. I want Coca-Cola to go up because, you know, I'm a contrarian. I'm doing the opposite of what everybody else is doing because I'm mental and that's just the way it rolls here. But anyway, I haven't got 500 likes yet, so I'm not showing you the number you need. The number you need is coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. We need 500 likes. Let's go. 500 likes. Let's rock and roll the studio. Here we go. Woohoo! Here we go. I'm going to give you the number you need. It is not the lagging indicator. It's the forward projection and also the short interest and also the margin position. Is it up or down? I'll give that to you. Great to see you, Martyn. Loving the energy. Charlotte May Weddings is back. Hey, Charlotte May Weddings. One of our top friends on the channel is back. Charlotte May Weddings, a former sponsor of the channel, and they were with us giving away $1,000 of XRP. We paid out $2,000 live on the show. Absolutely great to see Charlotte May Weddings. How are you, mate? Lovely to have you back. How's life over there in Spain and everywhere else? Hope you're well. Down goes Micron, and Coca-Cola is holding. This is my position. 750,000 in total. I've got 910,000 in Coca-Cola. All one stock. No stop losses. No hedges. No options. All in with the stock. Straightforward. How many likes have we got now? I want 500. And then I'll give you the numbers. We've got 335. 335. 10 seconds to go. Give me 350. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have it. That'll do for me, donkey. That'll do. That'll do. All right. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Right. Let me show you the number you need. Scroll down here, and what you're looking at is the PE ratio. Now, the PE ratio, the lagging indicator, is 49 times earnings. Holy flipping moly. Let's all fall over and whatever. But the number you need is not that one. Nope. The number you need is this one. Forward PE based upon the earnings tonight. All of a sudden, you've got the magic number that I buy the S&P at. 17 times earnings of the forward PE. How about it? How about it? 17 times earnings. It's a good night for Micron. It's a bad night for me. Hasn't gone quite the way I wanted it to, but it's a good night for you if you hold Micron. We've got 15 minutes before the call begins. It says 17 times earnings, and we've only got 3% short interest. This is a great night for Nvidia, for Micron tonight. There you go. There's the number you need. Now then, what we're going to do now is we're going to get ready for the call to begin. What a night. What a night. Let me shut that down. Back to there. Okay, let me go to there. Don't need that anymore. Right, here we go. I'm going to bring on the presentation. Play. There it is. Okay. Micron are presenting at the moment no slides. We have this. That's what we have at the moment. The Micron earnings starts in exactly 14.5 minutes. Expect 1 or 2 minutes delay. That is a standard thing for this company. So I've never understood why. If anyone can tell me why, you get billion-dollar companies, or if not trillion-dollar companies, show up late for their own earnings calls, let me know. I've never understood it. I mean, can't you just sit there 10 minutes early and then count down 3, 2, 1, go? I mean, you know, you want people to give you billions of dollars and you go 5 minutes late. I've never understood that. If anyone could ever explain that to me, I'd love to know, because I find it incredibly rude. But anyway, that's just me. Maybe I'm just old school and I think people should be on time. I don't know. I think it's weird. Anyway, right, we got 15 minutes to go. So as we've got a few minutes, let's give you a few things you might need to help you on your way. All right. First of all, thank you ever so much, everybody who tapped the like button. By tapping the like button, it says you like this content. You're more likely to see it in the future. If you don't like the content, you're still more likely to see it in the future if you keep watching me. So that's one of the little things I like to sort of say to trolls and people that say, oh, you're rubbish. I'm down liking it, but they watch every day. Weird that, innit? But anyway, it's up to you. Like it, down like it, makes a difference to me. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be wonderful. We want to be the first channel in the world to get to 1 billion. Now, to do that, I've got to be live every day, all day, 12 hours a day for the next 13 years. And that is what I've committed to do. It's 5 years of doing that, so it'll be 17 years in total. Sorry, 18 years. I've got 13 years to go. I committed to doing that, and I've done it for 5 years. On Friday, it's our 5th birthday. So thank you very much, all of you that have been part of it for all these years. Thank you. If you'd like to follow me on X and Instagram, there you can. We have a network of 4 channels. There's on the homepage of the channel, you'll see the extra channel where we go live 24 hours a day, the replays of things you've missed. So we go around the world in different languages for 76 countries. That's the extra channel. We got the clips channel where we do breakdown of all the clips. Every 30 minutes, 24 hours a day, I have a clip of the show and all the most important facts and numbers coming out for you. Right? That's on our clips channel. So you'll also find clips on our X and Instagram. I've just dropped in the Instagram for you. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, we have 3 services. The TV show is live all day, every day. And you're watching it now. This is what it is. Hello. This is what it is. All right. Then we live trades, live engagement. That's what the TV show is. Make sure you click the cogs and you're broadcasting in 4K. All right, make sure you got the 4K. Then we have Discord. Now, Discord is by interview and appointment only. Now, there are people who charge $100 and more to do what I do for a couple of bucks. Why do I do everything for a couple of bucks? My membership's a couple of bucks. My Instagram membership is 99 cents. My extra channel is 99 cents. Why? because I don't value your subscription. I value you. And I want to find the best people. And the best people aren't always the ones with the most money. So I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in building a community. The best Lucasades, Insta Lucasades for Instagram and Discordians in the world. And we do have, without doubt, the most engaged audience in the world. We've got 10 minutes ago. We're covering the Micron earnings. Please stand by. All right. So to do that, I don't charge insane amounts of money. I don't need to. I make money out of investing. For 3 years in a row, I've beaten the market 3 and 4x. And I've shared it on the screen. I show it on the screen all the time. Okay? For those of you who've just tuned in, I'll show it to you now. If you go to the S&P 500, there's the S&P, and you go year to date, it's 7.64%. Now, I'm down like 12 grand today. So this is a bad scenario for me, and let me show you. So 7% on the S&P. Let me show you my position. And year to date is 22.3, and I'm having a bad day. I 3 and 4x the market all the time for 3 years in a row. That's how I make my money. So I don't value high expensive subscriptions. I'm not here to sell videos. And Coca-Cola is now bouncing back exactly like I said it would. Oh, Martyn was right again. There you go. There it is. All right. So there you go. Anyway, so my subscriptions are a way to find the best people, right? We talk to the CEOs, the hedge fund managers, directly with banks, Ripple. We have them on the show. We have live CEO interviews for our members. And I want to put together the best community in the world. So we don't want to charge $100 because there are people, really good, really hard-working people who can't afford that. So I fund it, I subsidize it, and I give it to everyone for a couple of bucks. But that doesn't mean we let millions of people in. That kind of defeats the object, right? In Discord, we only allow 2 people a day to join. And we vet you. Sorry, but we do. You asked to join. We only want real people, good people, no bots, no AI, no buy Bitcoin, it's going $1 million. You have no value to us whatsoever, right? You don't have to have much money. We've got some whales. We've got some very large whales, actually, and some small investors. If you want to join us, there is Discord and our newsletter. It's only a couple of bucks to join. And the reason why we only allow a couple of people a day to join is because we have the best Discord server in the world. What do I mean? Well, how long have I got now? 8 minutes. It's because it's one-on-one support, live support. Did that not come through? Did my Discord link not come through? No, it didn't, did it? I'll give it to you in the chat. Okay, here we go. I'm having some issues with that. Let me drop it in again there. All right? So we provide one-on-one support. No AI, no bots, me and my team. That's it. One-on-one support, 2-stage events every single trading day. All of my shares, all of my trades, and I've beaten the market 3 years in a row. All of my trades shared with you. We teach how to do tax loss harvesting. We teach you how to do tax lot trading. All kinds of things we share with you. One-on-one. You can talk to me directly. That's why we only admit 2 people a day. So if you want to join, click on that link. I will actually, during the call, I will interview you and let you in. Now, what does that mean? It means during the call, I'm looking there now. Yes, we have 5 applications. We have Lord Lollies, we have Caleb Axiom Owner, and Ned Vest and Forlan just applied. So what I'm going to do is during the call, while I'm listening, I'm going to process you. What does that mean? It means I'm going to, you're going to apply. I'm going to send you a little video. It's an 8-minute video that you watch, answer the questions, and you've got 24 hours to answer it correctly. That will get rid of most people because they just can't be bothered to watch an 8-minute video. That's great. We don't want you. Answer some questions, and if you get them right and you give a good answer, we will admit you in, and you can be a member of our Discord server for a couple of bucks. And here's the best part. 5 years old on Friday. None of our services have ever gone up in price. ever. So in fact, they've gone down in price over the last 5 years because there's no inflation, ever. We never increase the prices, ever. We add more services all the time. It gets better and better and better all the time. So we're always adding more to you. So you can join Discord if you want to. You can join my Instagram service, which is the personal side of me. So when we're away from the stock market, we are watching the football, we are going for walks, tea on Thursdays, I'm sharing with you my stories from the people that I talk to. I'm the world piano man, I've toured all over the world, and I share all those stories with you. That's my personal side. That's 99 cents. The same process. We only want good people. And then if you want to get a souvenir and stuff, we have our shop, which we launched yesterday. And here it is. The Bloody Idiot t-shirts. We've got our own licensed products. All the best prices. There it is. All Micron's going up now. Lovely. If you want the shop, it's martynlucasshop.com. And we've got all sorts of stuff for you. It's the Village. We've got the happy 5th anniversary birthday on Friday. You've got caps, hoodies, Lucasades, all sorts of really cool stuff. As you can see there, we got our own models who model it for us and everything. There you go. We even show you how we make the embroidery for you. Look at this. I think it's is it this one? Not that one. Which one is it? The embroidery. How long have I got? I got 3 minutes. Okay. Is it this one? Not that one. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go. I think it's quite cool to show people. That's how the embroidery of your t-shirt is actually made. I've got licensed products around the world, and we actually show you how it's all made. Pretty cool, right? Anyway, there you go. We've got 3 minutes to go. Stand by for Micron. It's running up now, and Coca-Cola is falling off a cliff. Oh dear. Am I worried? No, I'm not. It'll come back. I'm sure of it. If I'm wrong, of course, I could have the biggest margin call of my life because I've gone all in $500,000. So if it goes wrong for me tonight, then of course it won't be so good. But I don't believe that for a second. Let me give you the link to the shop, and we've got 3 minutes to go. All members, all Discordians, you get a 20% discount, which runs out on Monday, all the way through our birthday weekend. So go into if you are a member, you'll find it on the membership page. It's worth being a member just for that. There's always benefits. It's like Costco. We sell stuff to our members at virtual cost. That's how it works. Cost. It's a company, you're all members. That's how it works. We do the same thing here. So if you become a member, you'll get 20% discount. It's worth being a member just for that. You'll find it on the YouTube membership and in Martyn's Inner Thoughts channel inside Discord. Now, during the call, which starts in a couple of moments, I am going to onboard members that wish to join Discord. And after Discord, after the show tonight, as long as the call doesn't go on too long, there'll be our second stage event of the day. In fact, I'm going to make the commitment. There will be the second stage event of the day because we're now seeing Coca-Cola sell off, and it wouldn't be right not to be with my members for this. All right? So straight after the call, we will have the stage event on Discord, and I'll be onboarding everybody throughout this event. Right, 2 minutes to go. Let's get ready. They're playing music at the moment. You don't need the music. It's just copyrighted music. Serves no purpose. Let's get ready to the event. Okay? Tap the like button, everybody. Consider subscribing, and let's get ready to rock and roll. I am not worried at all about my Coca-Cola one tiny bit. Buying the dip, said Tom's. It said it didn't work for the t-shirt. That's because you didn't read what it said. Terry Rose, it says $30 order minimum. The t-shirt was underneath $30. All right, you could have got a mug with it and got the mug for virtually free. So what you need to do is it tells you on the page. How long have I got? 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes to show you. It says here right at the top. There it is. Special deal. Discordians YouTube members 20% off. Ends June 29th, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Minimum order $30, one-time use only, so make sure to fill the cart. Type the code, not paste. It tells you exactly there. So what you did do, you probably pasted it, not typed it, or you didn't put $30 in your basket. All right. If I gave you $20 off a t-shirt, I would actually lose money. So I'm already doing things at the minimum price. That's why that happened. All right, Terry Rose. I hope that makes sense. All right. How long have we got now? We got 30 seconds. So I'm going to unmute the music. I'm going to mute it over here. There we go. I'm listening in. I'll bring it to you in a second. Stand by. Micron earnings, seconds away. Stand by. Okay. We're just waiting now. There could be a minute. Right, we are now. It is time for the call. Expect them to be a minute or so late. And we're running crazy now. Coca-Cola is still holding over $80. I'm very happy with that. Not a problem to me. People are taking profit to buy the pump, and then they'll take their profit and it will come back. I'm not worried about this at all. Right, please stand by. Charlie B. Rubbish. Hopefully Coca-Cola rips. So during this call, I will process all the shop orders. I will process them all to be sent out immediately. Here we go. Loading event. They're loading the slides. We're going to have slides. And I will onboard everybody that joins Discord. All we got is projection. We got projection. Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And welcome to Micron Technology's fiscal third quarter 2026
Here we go.
Conference call. After today's prepared remarks, we will host a question and answer session. Webcast viewers, please note that you will be able to advance the slides as you view at your own pace. I will now hand the conference over to Satya Kumar, Corporate Vice President of Investor Relations and Treasury. Satya, please go ahead.
Thank you, and welcome to Micron Technology's fiscal third quarter 2026 financial conference call. On the call with me today are Sanjay Mehrotra, our Chairman, President, and CEO, and Mark Murphy, our CFO. Today's call is being webcast from our investor relations site at investors.micron.com, including audio and slides. In addition, the press release detailing our quarterly results has been posted on the website, along with the prepared remarks for this call. Today's discussion contains forward-looking statements that are subject to risks and uncertainties. These forward-looking statements include statements regarding our future financial and operating performance and our business model, as well as trends and expectations in our business, customers, market, industry, products, and regulatory and other matters. These statements are based on our current assumptions, and we assume no obligation to update these statements. Please refer to our most recent financial reports on Form 10-K, Forms 10-Q, and other filings with the SEC for more information on the risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from expectations. Today's discussion of financial results is presented on a non-GAAP financial basis unless otherwise specified. A reconciliation of GAAP to non-GAAP financial measures can be found on our website. I'll now turn the call over to Sanjay.
Thank you, Satya. Micron delivered an exceptional fiscal Q3 with significant records in revenue, gross margin, and EPS, all exceeding the high end of our guidance. Demonstrating Micron's position as a leader enabling the AI era, our data center revenue exceeded $25 billion in fiscal Q3, or an annualized run rate of over $100 billion. Our data center SSD revenue exceeded $5 billion, more than doubling sequentially. DRAM and NAND industry demand continues to significantly exceed industry supply. We expect tight conditions to persist beyond calendar 2027 as a result of AI-driven demand across all segments, coupled with structural supply constraints. We are excited to announce that we have now signed 16 strategic customer agreements, or SCAs, which we expect will fundamentally transform our business model. The memory industry has been structurally transformed by the proliferation of AI. We are only in the early innings of the significant innovation and productivity that can be unleashed in every part of the global economy over time. Data center-driven growth will be increasingly complemented by AI-enabled features in smartphones, high-end PCs, and new consumer devices, as well as in automotive, industrial applications, and robotics. Exciting possibilities enabled by robotics and humanoids, as well as fully autonomous vehicles, portend a robust long-term demand environment for memory and storage. With respect to supply, our customers are recognizing that supply shortages in memory and storage will take considerable time to improve. Even as we expect industry supply to improve gradually in 2028, we currently do not have line of sight as to when memory supply will be able to catch up with increasing demand. Memory industry supply growth is dependent on significant greenfield fab expansions. These greenfield projects are large, complex, and time-consuming. Further, the pace is constrained by several factors, including long lead time for fab construction across the world, shortage of workers with critical trade skills, complex regulations, including permitting, and the need for enhanced energy infrastructure. Meanwhile, memory process technology, which is among the most advanced to develop and manufacture in semiconductors, is getting more complex with every new node. Technology transitions are driving slower bit growth over time. Wafer growth needs are significantly increasing clean room space and greenfield fab requirements, and HBM's growth and increasing trade ratio with every new generation further pressures non-HBM supply. In NAND, industry suppliers redirecting clean room space from NAND to DRAM and overall limited clean room space constrained NAND bit supply growth. These factors, taken together, mean supply is structurally constrained in its growth and ability to meet industry demand, despite our comprehensive efforts to increase supply. AI systems are powered by GPU, ASIC, and CPU designs from an increasingly broad set of suppliers. However, they all share one important characteristic. AI system performance is architecturally dependent on memory subsystem performance and capacity. This has given rise to more complex memory hierarchy that is providing greater differentiation opportunities for Micron than at any time in our history. It has also elevated the role of memory in the AI world to a strategic asset. Strong long-term demand growth, structurally constrained supply growth, and memory's strategic importance have caused customers to recognize that their product roadmaps rely on access to advanced memory technology and dependable and committed long-term memory supply. Micron has been a pioneer in our industry in creating a new class of strategic customer agreements, or SCAs, with very robust terms. We are pleased to announce that we have completed 16 SCAs with customers across the data center, consumer, and auto market segments. These SCAs accelerate the transformation of our business model, enhance partnership in technology and innovation, and provide customers with contracted supply assurance. Typically, these agreements have a 5-year term from calendar 2026 through the end of calendar 2030. Automotive agreements generally have a 3-year term. The 16 signed agreements represent roughly 20% of our DRAM volume and a third of our NAND volume over this period. These SCAs include 4 very large customers and 3 medium-sized customers. The remaining agreements relate to smaller customers from the automotive industry and represent our commitment to the important sector. When completed, we expect approximately half or more of our company revenue to be under these SCAs with customers across end markets, Our customer value our U.S. supply plans, and this is reflected in our SCAs. These SCAs are structured as take-or-pay agreements with binding commitments to purchase specific volumes over this multi-year term. The largest agreements generally have a ceiling price for existing products at the current CQ2 market price and a floor price through the term of this agreement. Several SCAs, which account for a modest portion of the SCA-related revenue, include either fixed prices or have no price bands associated with them, where pricing will be subject to market conditions. When all planned SCAs are executed, agreements with either fixed prices or price ceilings at or close to current CQ2 market prices are expected to be approximately 40% of our revenue. For SCAs which do contain such price bands, pricing is designed to stay within this floor to ceiling level through the course of the term. This pricing visibility will help our SCA customers across market segments to better manage their business and grow their demand. For our SCAs with price bands, the floor price enables a very robust gross margin for Micron, well above our peak quarterly margins in any past cycle. 14 of the 16 SCAs that we have signed have a cumulative revenue at minimum price per our contracts of approximately $100 billion over the remaining agreement term. They also strengthen our long-term financial performance, margins, and free cash flow expectations with higher visibility and improved stability in our business performance. Under the SCAs we have signed so far, we project to receive cash deposits and related financial commitments of $22 billion. This further demonstrates customer commitment to this new business model. Mark will provide additional details. Our SCAs with customers across data center to consumer devices to auto and industrial applications create a new paradigm for us to strengthen our customer relationships. They provide committed DRAM, including HBM as appropriate, and NAND supply to our customers over a multi-year time horizon. In a period of significant shortage, this supply visibility is extremely beneficial to our customers. The visibility enables our customers to leverage SCA supply to make progress on their strategic plans, drive growth, and enable their end consumers to benefit from their products and services. We are very appreciative of our customers who have worked with us through this period of tight supply with a strong collaborative spirit to create win-win outcomes for the long term for the entire ecosystem and end consumers. AI's insatiable appetite for memory bandwidth and capacity with low latency and low power is driving memory architectural choices, memory product mix shifts, and manufacturing process technology decisions, all of which increase the complexity of memory and storage roadmap for the industry. Micron is building on its technology leadership. Our 1-gamma DRAM node and G9 NAND node are both ramping well and on track to become the highest volume nodes in Micron's history. Development of our next generation DRAM and NAND nodes are also progressing well and are on track to begin volume production in the second half of calendar 2027. We are leveraging our leadership DRAM and NAND nodes across our product portfolio. HBM4 12-high volume ramp is tracking twice as fast as HBM3E 12-high, and we have already shipped over $1 billion in HBM4 revenue. We expect to reach mature yields on HBM4 12-high significantly faster than HBM3E 12-high. Please see our earnings press release for other highlights across our HBM, high-capacity DDR, and LP server DRAM, data center SSD, PC, smartphone, and automotive product portfolios. We expect future memory demand will continue to skew towards higher performance and higher value products whose complexity carries higher cost per bit. Transitions like LP5 to LP6, DDR5 to DDR6, and newer generations of HBM all come with rising bit costs. This trend, along with the ramp of significant greenfield capacity in the years ahead, is projected to cause the blended DRAM cost per bit to rise from current levels. Our customer SCAs provide for appropriate price premiums for such new products to be negotiated in the future. Turning to our end markets, AI is driving unprecedented growth in data centers, with industry data center DRAM and NAND bit shipments in calendar 2026 expected to more than double from 2 years ago. Agentic AI is structurally reshaping data center infrastructure, extending beyond accelerator-only racks to include CPU racks for the agent control plane and program execution, and storage racks for rapidly expanding context store. We now expect calendar 2026 industry server units to grow high teens % above our prior expectations of low double digits, driven by mid-teens growth in traditional servers and even stronger growth in servers with AI accelerators. We estimate that this increase in our server unit growth expectation is enabled by a modest reduction in average server DRAM content growth as customers focus on maximizing unit shipments amid a very tight allocation of memory. In NAND, AI context memory storage and HDD displacement opportunities are expanding the addressable market for SSDs. PC and smartphone industry revenue is expected to grow despite unit volume declines, reflecting resilient demand for high-end devices at higher prices across end device categories. Agentic AI platforms such as OpenClaw and NemoClaw elevate the value of edge devices, enabling improved tokenomics, greater privacy and latency, and more efficient orchestration of AI between the cloud and edge. Over time, we expect the value of on-device AI combined with pent-up unit replacement demand to drive memory demand growth in PCs and smartphones. In automotive, ADAS remains a powerful driver of content growth. L2+ and above vehicles, which feature progressively increasing levels of autonomy, have over 5 times the memory and storage content of an average vehicle. The mix of L2+ and above vehicles is more than doubling this year to over 20% and is expected to exceed 40% by 2030. Average auto memory and storage content is expected to further increase as mix shifts towards higher levels of autonomy with progressively higher levels of content. In robotics, continued advances in simulation, foundation models, and integrated hardware and software stacks are accelerating physical AI. This creates a growing content-rich opportunity for high bandwidth, low power memory and storage that powers real-time perception, inference, and control. Humanoid robots carry 10 times the amount of memory as an average L2+ vehicle, and we expect a sustained, substantial, multi-decade memory demand cycle to begin in the latter part of this decade. Now turning to our market outlook. We now expect supply-demand conditions for both DRAM and NAND to remain tight beyond calendar 2027. In DRAM, we expect industry DRAM bit shipments in calendar 2026 to grow in the low to mid-20s% range, slightly above our prior outlook. In NAND, we expect industry NAND bit shipments in calendar 2026 to grow approximately 20%, unchanged from prior expectations. We expect Micron DRAM supply to grow approximately in line with the industry supply growth, while Micron NAND supply grows somewhat less than the industry supply growth in calendar 2026. Our SCAs provide enhanced visibility on our long-term demand and provide us greater confidence on our CapEx and R&D investments. We are focused on maximizing output from our fabs, including collaboration with our suppliers to accelerate tool acquisition, fab tool installation and ramp, and tool replacements and upgrades to improve productivity. Recently, we concluded a multi-year EUV supply agreement with ASML, supporting our increased adoption of EUV at the 1 Delta node and future generations. We are also making good progress on expanding our global manufacturing footprint to increase supply over time. This includes our significant investments in U.S. leading-edge DRAM manufacturing with our ID1 and ID2 fabs in Idaho, whose construction is well underway, as well as the first of our New York fab cluster, where we broke ground in January this year. ID1 is on track for first wafer output in mid-calendar 2027 and ID2 in late calendar 2028. We recently launched first production starts of our 1-alpha DDR4 technology in our Manassas, Virginia fab, which will add to our capability to support the legacy product needs of our customers in auto, industrial, medical, aerospace, and defense markets. In our newly acquired Tongluo site in Taiwan, we expect to support meaningful product shipments from the existing 300,000 square feet fab in mid-calendar 2027, about a quarter earlier than our prior expectations. Adding to the existing fab, we have begun construction of a similar size second clean room at this site. This clean room will support EUV equipment. Our construction activities and timelines are on track for our other facilities in Japan and Singapore. Complementing our advanced packaging capabilities in Taiwan, our Singapore site will become another center of excellence for advanced packaging. We expect this facility will contribute meaningfully to Micron's HBM packaging capacity beginning in the first half of calendar year 2027. As we make these investments, we will remain disciplined in our approach and will be responsive to the market environment to appropriately align our supply plans. I will now turn it over to Mark for our fiscal Q3 financial results and outlook.
Thank you, Sanjay, and good afternoon, everyone. Micron delivered exceptional fiscal Q3 results with revenue, gross margin, and EPS exceeding the high end of our guidance. Our results and today's outlook underscore the increasing value of memory in the AI era and the structural strength of our business. As mentioned, we have entered into 16 strategic customer agreements. For SCAs with defined price, either fixed or subject to floor and ceiling pricing, in accordance with the revenue accounting standard, we are disclosing remaining performance obligations, RPO, starting this May quarter. RPO at the end of fiscal Q3 was over $5 billion. For the SCAs that we have entered into so far, including ones executed after the end of fiscal Q3, RPO is approximately $100 billion. RPO is determined based on minimum committed volumes and minimum pricing and reflects inherently conservative estimates. RPO is not indicative of the total revenue we expect to recognize in future periods. As such, we expect revenue to well exceed associated RPOs over the term of the agreements. As Sanjay mentioned, we project to receive cash deposits and related financial commitments of $22 billion under the SCAs we have signed so far. The overwhelming majority of these commitments, approximately $18 billion, will be in the form of cash deposits. When all targeted SCAs are completed, we expect to have substantially higher levels of SCA customer deposits and related commitments. These customer deposits will show up on our balance sheet more in fiscal Q4. The cash flows associated with customer deposits appear in financing-related cash flows and will not affect our free cash flow. This cash will be returned to customers over time towards the latter half of the agreement term. We are excited with our progress in signing these SCAs, which will strengthen our long-term financial performance and drive enduring, robust ROI for the company over time. Total fiscal Q3 revenue was $41.5 billion, up 74% sequentially and up 346% year over year, representing our fifth consecutive quarterly revenue record. The $17.6 billion sequential increase is the largest in our history, eclipsing last quarter's $10.2 billion record. Fiscal Q3 DRAM revenue was a record $31.3 billion, up 343% year over year, and represented 76% of total revenue. Sequentially, DRAM revenue increased 67%. Bit shipments were up low single-digit percentage range. Prices increased in the low 60s% range, driven by tight industry conditions and favorable mix. Fiscal Q3 NAND revenue was a record $9.9 billion, up 361% year over year, and represented 24% of total revenue. Sequentially, NAND revenue increased 99%. Bit shipments increased in the mid-single-digit percentage range. Prices increased in the mid-80s% range, driven by tight NAND industry conditions and a favorable mix. The consolidated gross margin for fiscal Q3 was 84.9%, up 10 percentage points sequentially. This improvement was driven primarily by higher pricing and also benefited from continuing strong execution and favorable mix. Fiscal Q3 gross margin more than doubled from a year ago and was a new company record. Now, turning to quarterly financial performance by business unit. Cloud Memory Business Unit revenue was a record $13.8 billion and represented 33% of total company revenue. CMBU revenue was up 78% sequentially, driven by higher pricing and bit shipments. CMBU gross margins were 83%, up 9 percentage points sequentially, driven by higher pricing. Core Data Center Business Unit revenue was a record $11.5 billion and represented 28% of total company revenue. CDBU revenue was up 103% sequentially, driven by higher pricing and a favorable mix. CDBU gross margins were 87%, up 12 percentage points sequentially, driven by higher pricing. Mobile and Client Business Unit revenue was a record $11.5 billion and represented 28% of total company revenue. MCBU revenue was up 49% sequentially, driven by higher pricing, partially offset by lower bit shipments. MCBU gross margins were 87%, up 9 percentage points sequentially, driven primarily by higher pricing and helped by favorable mix. Automotive and Embedded Business Unit revenue was a record $4.6 billion and represented 11% of total company revenue. AEBU revenue was up 71% sequentially, driven by higher pricing and higher bit shipments. ABU gross margins were 79%, up 11 percentage points sequentially, driven by higher pricing and favorable mix. Operating expenses in fiscal Q3 were $1.5 billion, up $97 million quarter over quarter. The sequential increase was due to higher variable compensation expense from the strong performance of the business. We generated operating income of $33.7 billion in fiscal Q3, resulting in an operating margin of 81.2%, up 12 percentage points sequentially and 54 percentage points year-over-year. Fiscal Q3 taxes were $5.1 billion on an effective tax rate of 14.9%. Non-GAAP diluted earnings per share in fiscal Q3 was $25.11, up 106% sequentially. Turning to cash flow and capital expenditures. In fiscal Q3, operating cash flows were $25.4 billion. Capital expenditures were $7.1 billion, resulting in free cash flow of $18.3 billion. Fiscal Q3 free cash flow was a quarterly record for the company. Ending inventory for fiscal Q3 was $8.6 billion, with days of inventory at 120. DRAM inventories are very tight and below 120 days. We reached record levels of cash and investments of $30.2 billion at quarter end. During fiscal Q3, we reduced debt by $4.4 billion, including a cash tender offer that reduced senior notes by $4.3 billion. The weighted average maturity on our outstanding debt is April 2035. We closed the quarter with $5.7 billion of debt and a net cash balance of $24.4 billion. This fiscal year, we received upgrades from all three major credit rating agencies, including an upgrade to BBB+ on the strength of our technology and product position, financial outlook, and strong balance sheet. Our balance sheet has never been stronger, and we project it to strengthen further even as we increase investment in technology and needed capacity. Now turning to guidance. We expect fiscal Q4 revenue to be a record $50 billion, plus or minus $1 billion. Gross margin to be approximately 86%, and operating expenses to be approximately $1.65 billion. Based on a share count of approximately 1.15 billion shares, we expect EPS to be a record $31 per share, plus or minus $1. Our fiscal Q4 gross margin outlook reflects a meaningful moderation in the rate of price increases. We project operating expenses to increase by approximately $1 billion in fiscal 2027 as we expand R&D to support an unprecedented set of opportunities in memory and storage. We expect operating expense increases to be weighted to the second half. We expect a fiscal Q4 and fiscal 2026 tax rate of around 15%. Micron continues to invest in a disciplined manner across our global footprint to address customer demand. As a reminder, our CapEx is net of anticipated government incentives. In fiscal Q4, we project CapEx of around $10 billion, bringing full-year fiscal 2026 capital spending to approximately $27 billion. We expect quarterly CapEx in fiscal 2027 to be above fiscal Q4 levels, with more than half the increase year-over-year in fiscal 2027 from construction CapEx as we pull in clean room capacity required to address long-term demand. We forecast free cash flow to increase substantially again in fiscal Q4. From December 9th, 2026, the second anniversary of the signature of our definitive CHIPS agreements, we intend to increase our capital return. Over time, we expect to return 100% of our excess cash to shareholders. Any impacts that may occur due to trade or geopolitical developments are not included in our guidance. I'll now turn it over to Sanjay to close.
Thank you, Mark. AI has elevated the value of memory. Micron is collaborating closely with our customers and suppliers across technology, product, manufacturing, and commercial teams in this tight industry environment. Strategic customer agreements are ushering in an exciting era for Micron. We expect these SCAs to significantly enhance the durability and predictability of Micron's strong financial performance, accelerating the transformation of our business model. I'm thankful to Micron's team members worldwide, whose relentless focus on execution on all fronts has positioned Micron as a leader in this new AI era, as we continue to advance our mission to accelerate intelligence to enrich life for all. We will now open for questions.
We will now begin the question and answer session. Please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up. If you would like to ask a question, please press *1 to raise your hand. To withdraw your question, press *1 again. Your first question comes from the line of Timothy Arcuri with UBS. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Sanjay, I think we're all trying to figure out how much is locked in kind of a floor price scenario over the next 5 years. And there were two things you said. You said that 14 of the 16 SCAs have $100 billion in cumulative revenue. So that sort of says like $20 billion a year at like a floor price, which is way below the run rate that you just guided. So that says that not that much would be covered at a floor price. But then you also said that 40% of revenue will be moving inside of these SCAs. So can you maybe double click on all that and sort of help us in like a floor price scenario? Can you help us think about how much of revenue per year would be guaranteed?
As we indicated, that under these SCAs that have been completed so far, at the floor price, the revenue is projected to be $100 billion. But again, as Mark noted in his remarks, we expect revenue to be much higher than that. Note that at the floor price, that our profitability levels at the gross margins at the floor prices are higher than peak margins at any time in the past. And so overall, about 20% of DRAM and about 30% of our NAND volume is covered in these SCAs so far. So that amounts to about 25% of our revenue that you can project over the term of these agreements. So again, RPO at the floor price is to be reported as an accounting measure, but we fully expect that the revenue will be much higher than that.
Got it. And then with respect to just how these layer in, Mark, like how much of the August quarter revenue, for example, will be flowing under an SCA? I'm just trying to figure out how to like layer that into the model. And when you get to like a full run rate where like by next fiscal Q4, will you be at sort of a full run rate of what's being covered under these SCAs? Can you help us sort of like feather that in?
Yeah, Tim. So you'll see a disclosure in the Q, which will disclose the next 12 months revenue associated with each set of agreements that have an RPO. So, for example, for those that closed within Q3, you'll see an RPO of $5 billion, over $5 billion, and you'll see a next 12 months associated with that of about $1.8 billion. And that is because those are some of the smaller agreements that Sanjay mentioned, automotive agreements. Now, in the fourth quarter, as Sanjay mentioned, you will see an RPO reported, on these 14 of the 16 agreements, that is going to be about $100 billion, and there will be an associated next 12 months associated with those that will be disclosed in the K. So you will be able to see, roughly how these are feathering in. And, keep in mind this RPO number, it is a minimally contractually enforceable amount for the intersection of volume and price. So you're looking, Tim, at a minimum number, and that's important to keep in mind. And we were clear that it doesn't reflect what we think will happen. And then also each quarter, this RPO number will change. It will change based on contracts that are added in. It may change on additional volume commitments with the determined price. It will change based on shipments and how that RPO is declines after that performance obligation is met. So you'll be getting a lot of additional reporting. This is all under ASC 606. I know it's something that it's not a heavy standard typically in some of our reporting, but this feature of RPO you will see. I also want to emphasize, as Sanjay mentioned, that even at the floor price, and eventually we anticipate about 40% of our revenue being under this sort of RPO related commitments, that even under the floor price, we expect the margins to be significantly above prior peak margins.
Okay. Thank you both.
Your next question comes from the line of Joseph Moore with Morgan Stanley. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
I also wanted to ask about the LTAs. Can you talk about the role of the cash deposit? Should we think of that as being sort of an escrow collateral account where if people cancel, you would have access to cash? Like if it's not revenue, like sort of what is the point of the deposit and what is the relationship of those deposits with the RPO if there is one?
Yeah, Joe, on the deposits. So, we mentioned that that we have $22 billion of deposits and financial commitments associated with the agreement signed to date as of this call. 18 billion approximately of that is cash deposits. We'll receive those deposits. We received about 400 plus million in the third quarter. We'll receive about another 10 billion in the fourth quarter, and you will these will be seen cash deposits. They'll be seen in financing cash flows. They will not affect free cash flow. They are held by us during the performance commitments of the agreements, and as those agreements are satisfied, those deposits will be returned over time, but heavily weighted to the back half of the agreements. The difference between the 22 billion and the 18, so roughly the 4 billion of others, is letters of credit.
Okay, but what is the role? I mean, what happens to that cash? It seems like they're putting a deposit and then they get the deposit back. What is the reason for them to commit that cash? Is that something where there's a take or pay that cash is related to? It's not a prepayment. Just can you help us understand that?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It's not a prepayment. It's a separate commitment by the customers and a reflection of the fact that we have a binding agreement, and these are take or pay agreements, and we hold the cash, and it's a reflection of our shared commitment to perform under these agreements. Now, this is good for Micron, of course, these agreements, and that We get visibility on our demand. It's committed volume that we can be confident about making our investments, large capital investments, closer technology relationship. It's good for the customers because they have supply assurance, they have leading technology. So in our view, it's a win-win, and very, very happy with the nature of the agreements and the impact they have on the business, and indication of a transformed business model at Micron.
Very helpful. Thanks for all the disclosure on this. It really helps a lot. Thanks.
Your next question comes from the line of CJ Muse with Cantor Fitzgerald. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you for taking the question. Maybe to just follow up on Joe's question, Mark. When you think about these cash deposits, do you view that as fungible cash and used for CapEx? And I guess as part of that, when you contemplate capital returns, particularly after December 14th kind of CHIPS Act end date, will you include kind of that cash that you received in your gross cash thoughts and your thoughts around capital returns, or is that something, given that you will have to return it eventually, that would cause you to think steady state you'll need to hold more gross cash, all else equal?
CJ, it's unrestricted.
But does it change your thoughts around gross cash that you feel comfortable holding on your books?
Not in the near term. I think we of course are going to have what we view as adequate liquidity to support the operation of the business. That would include over time returning the deposits as customers and Micron perform on the contracts. And so that of course is important. And then we would hold liquidity to satisfy what investments we believe are important for the business. We've got a lot of we've got large projects underway to provide supply, and also R&D programs. So and again, I'll emphasize that the customers, as I mentioned earlier, they will get this return deposit back in the latter half of the agreement.
Perfect. And then maybe as a follow-up on HBM revenues, could you kind of share how you're thinking about both your market share and perhaps total revenues into calendar 26? And is there an expectation into calendar 27 that you can bridge margins there closer to what you're getting on D5, or is that a place that will be permanently below that D5 level? Thanks so much.
So with respect to HBM, first of all, very, very pleased with our HBM4 product and Micron's shipments already of HBM4 of over $1 billion. HBM market share, we strategically are choosing it to be close to our DRAM share. And this is important because of the trade ratio of HBM. It consumes, as you know, a significant amount of wafers and puts pressure on non-HBM supply in the industry. So targeting our HBM share close to our DRAM share strategically enables us to supply our diversified end markets, customers across all end markets, data center, consumer, automotive, industrial, the markets that need non-HBM supply. Regarding your question on pricing for next year, we are really not commenting on pricing, but certainly HBM is a product where Micron has a strong leadership position. We have demonstrated tremendous success now with HBM3E 8-high, HBM3E 12-high, and now with HBM4, and a strong roadmap ahead of strong confidence in our ability to execute to that. And it is a higher price product, compared to non-HBM on a per bit basis. And it is a product that is critically important for the entire AI ecosystem from data center to edge. So strategically, it is a very important product for us. And it is a product that does provide strong ROI as well.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Vivek Arya with Bank of America Securities. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Thanks for taking my question. For the first one, Sanjay, you mentioned, I think, 4 large and 3 medium-sized customer agreements. And I'm curious, how many of them are related to the data center? Should we expect more data center-related announcements? And the $100 billion, does that align with the large and medium-sized, or does it align with the smaller-sized customers? I guess I'm still trying to figure out what is the typical SCA with the data center customer. Have you given enough breadcrumbs for us to figure out what a data center SCA looks like over the next few years?
So our large customers include, data center, and the large and medium customers that you mentioned, and of course, including our smaller customers, they do go across data center, consumer, and automotive markets. And we have provided you color on the large agreements have, of course, generally have a ceiling price, have a price band which has a floor as well as a ceiling, and the ceiling is established at the CQ2 price levels. And of course, that CQ2 price levels are reflected in our FQ3 results as well as FQ4 guidance, and they provide for unprecedented levels of profitability. And those price bands also provide for floor prices, where the gross margins are well above the peaks at any past cycle in company's history. And the large agreements that we mentioned, these are multi-year agreements, and they provide us tremendous visibility to demand, customer commitments, and they, of course, come with the financial commitments, including cash deposits that Mark elaborated on earlier.
Thanks. And for my follow-up, Mark, on gross margins, 86%, does it kind of hang out here for a while? Is there a ceiling? And then as these SCAs start to kick in, should we assume some kind of normalization to between, the mid-80s where you are now versus, I think the prior peak was in the low 60s. So as your long-term investors build their models for 27, 28, etc., should they be assuming a normalized gross margin range somewhere in the mid-70s, right? Kind of the range between where you are today versus the prior peaks. If you could just, hold our hands on how to think about gross margins beyond this 86% in the near term, and then longer term, what is the right way to think about how these gross margins unfold? Thank you.
Yeah. So Vivek, we're not providing guidance beyond the fourth quarter, but we are at margin levels that, as we've talked about before, incremental price yields less in gross margin expansion. So while but having said that, we do see, as we mentioned, we updated our view on market conditions that we expect the market to remain tight beyond 2027. We also have, we're at a point where memory is very much appreciated for the strategic asset that it is, the value that it brings to improving AI intelligence, and more and higher performance memory is needed. And so our continued deployment of bits to data center and edge device, higher performance applications is going to be helpful as price moderates and price growth moderates, and we move to optimize the placement of our bits with customers, including those that we have done these SCAs with. And then also, as we've talked about, we will get additional volume starting mid-year, materially beginning mid-year 27, that will grow into 28. And we will have some startup costs there, but we will get absorption as those ramps occur. And so over time, we'll get that operating leverage. So I think we feel great about the trajectory of the business, Micron's technology position, world-class product portfolio. You can see we're operating very well, and all those are supportive of continuing to deliver a strong financial performance.
Thank you.
Your final question comes from the line of Krish Sankar with TD Cowen. Your line is open. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, thanks for taking my question. I have two of them, Sanjay or Mark. Congrats on the great results. On the floor pricing for the LTAs, you said about the prior peak. Your prior peak gross margin was somewhere in the low 60-62% range. If I try to plug in what a 64 gigabyte server DRAM is, I can get like a $700 price for it compared to $1,500 today, which kind of puts you at like $10 to $12 a gigabyte as the floor and a mid-$20 a gigabyte for the current price. Is that the range we should think about for these LTAs, i.e. low teens to mid-20s dollars a gigabyte is kind of like the range of LTAs for the pricing?
So, Krish, we're not going to get into specific pricing discussions, but I just want to note again that I said that the gross margins at the floor will be well beyond the peaks that we experienced, the highs that we experienced in the past cycle. So well beyond those, right? But we are not going to obviously get into the specifics related to the pricing. Bottom line is, these SCAs really help provide visibility, strength, and durability of demand for us. And they absolutely fundamentally accelerate our financial performance and the business transformation here.
Got it. Very helpful, Sanjay. And just a quick follow-up. You kind of mentioned how DRAM bits should grow low to mid-20s, NAND probably in the 20% range this year. And clearly, we are undersupplied on both. Is there a way to quantify what happens in 2027? Is there a way to say, is the undersupply going to be double what it is this year in 2027? Or how to think about the supply-demand imbalance in 2027?
We see 2027 overall tight. We have said we see tightness continuing beyond 2027. Working hard to bring up a supply, but we have shared with you that it takes a long time to bring up the additional capacity that is needed to support the customer demands, the additional wafer capacity, and of course, technology transitions and the less bit gain that they give per node, as well as the HBM trade ratio put tremendous pressure on the overall supply growth as well. So supply, even in 2028, when supply begins to improve gradually, we see that the demand will continue to be on a robust trajectory as well, because these AI trends are very long-term trends. AI is still in very, very early innings. The whole token economics needs more memory. AI system performance is really very much limited by memory capacity and memory performance, memory bandwidth. So, the demand for memory is, as the compute demand grows and our customers look at a tremendous transformation opportunity that is ahead of them, and continue to make investments like they have never made before to build this infrastructure. The demand trajectory is extremely strong. Memory is at the center of it and is a strategic asset, and access to memory supply is obviously a critical priority, as you can see in the multi-year agreements that our customers have concluded with us. I mean, those agreements reflect the confidence in the growth of the demand. So we are working hard to bring up supply, but we see tightness persisting beyond 2027.
Thanks a lot, Sanjay. Really appreciate it.
This concludes today's call. Thank you for attending. You may now disconnect.
There we go. What a call that was. Well, it surprised me. It was better than I expected. As you can see, exactly happened what could have happened. The rotation trade happened. Coca-Cola that pumped throughout the day, which is currently the rotation trade. I'm fully in Coca-Cola, by the way. That's why my portfolio is showing you that. It pumped before. Micron went up. It sold off to buy it. The question is, what comes next? Well, during the build-up, we showed you all the buzzwords to look out for, and we got them all. We got everything delivered. So it does look to me like this is going to run and run for a while longer yet. So will there be some profit taking? Well, I don't know. That's the honest truth. I don't know. I was banking on there being profit taking, as it wasn't going to live up to expectation, a bit like Nvidia, but it didn't. It ran ahead. So it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best outcome for me, being defensive. It looks like there's a lot more in Micron yet. So Micron is continuing to run. Doesn't show any signs of actually abating. So I don't know if there's going to be any profit taking from this. This looks pretty good to me. But of course, there's always something. But I feel good that I'm still in Coca-Cola. That is my defensive play. It is still very, very strong. If we look at the rest of the market, the S&P came up on that result tonight. It liked it. Coca-Cola, though, is still above the 80, and it's starting to bounce back a little bit now. So I'm looking for 83, well, $90 is my target. Still think we're going to get there. I'm still happy to be there, but of course it didn't go quite the way I expected tonight. I didn't think those numbers would be quite as good as they were. So congratulations to Micron. They did a tremendous job. Anyone who holds Micron tonight, congratulations. Are you going to take profit? This is the question. What's going to happen in the next couple of days? I am new at watching Micron. I've not watched it a lot. Nvidia, yeah, I've been covering that for years, along with many other stocks. But Micron's a new one for me. I'm going to be paying a lot more attention to it now, though. But what we heard tonight from the CEO sounded pretty good to me. Got to be honest, it did sound pretty good. What happens next? I don't know. I still think the market is very expensive. I still want to be defensive. I wouldn't want to be buying that now. I've got to be honest, if I was buying it, and I do like what I heard tonight, for the next few years, it looks very nice. I would like to see it pull back. However, the big green tick tonight was the 17 times earnings forward PE. That is fantastic. That's the price you want to pay for the S&P on a great day. 17 times earnings. And that's where it sits right now. So I think when people look at those numbers, they could be wanting to buy this a little bit more and keep the rally going. But remember how I invest. I'm always a contrarian. I'm looking for what comes next. I'm a chess player, not a checkers player. Checkers players, one move ahead, they'll be buying this tomorrow. It might run up a little bit more. I'm looking at where it goes next. This is why for 3 years, I've beaten the market, not by 1x, 2x, but 3x, 3 years in a row. I've gone from $5,000 to nearly $1 million live on the show, 910,000 now all invested. So I look at what comes next. So yeah, I think there's more to run. I think Coca-Cola is going to struggle to get off the ground a little bit for now, but I do think it's going to perform well. I want to be there. I want to be what comes next. I don't want to be waking up tomorrow and find I'm 20% down because everyone took profit. But looking at those numbers, looks pretty good for Micron, if I'm honest. It looks pretty good. Let's leave it like that. That forward PE is very attractive. Tomorrow, Wall Street will digest that and we might get a bit more of a rally. But what could ruin the party for Micron is SpaceX. Because SpaceX lands on the Nasdaq soon. And when it does, more dilution coming, more people taking profit out of SpaceX, more of those founder investors selling, then it's going to pull back everything on the Nasdaq. You can't stop it. But for now, there might be a bit more to go. So anyway, thank you for joining me. It was a fantastic call. It's the very first time we've covered a Micron earnings. So all Micron investors, you found a new home tonight. Thank you for being here. I'd like to say welcome. We had 7,465, which is fantastic. Thank you. With 11 minutes average watch time, which, if you know anything about YouTube, typically 2 minutes. 11 minutes watch time. That's great. Thank you to all. Massive night here for the channel, and I hope we provided value of service to you. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. In 24 minutes, I will be on Discord for our stage event of the day, looking about the trades, one-on-one support, talking about all these positions, where we go next. So there was Micron earnings. Look out for all the shorts, the clips taken from the show tonight, and you can look out for those. Let me do some comments before we go, because we've got 15 minutes. I'll go about 5 minutes, actually, before I take a break, before we go into Discord. Let me read some comments. Terry Rose, you said you didn't get your order. I've seen it, and I've processed your order as well. You did get the discount, the 20% discount. For those of you who are interested, it's our 5th anniversary, our 5th birthday on Friday, and we have a brand new Shopify shop. It's really amazing marketplace. Let me drop this in the chat, martynlucasshop.com. All YouTube members, all Discordians, you get a 20% discount. Essentially, we're like Costco, all right? Basically, that's what we do. You get at cost. So if you are a member of our channel, you'll get a 20% discount, all right? Pretty cool right now. It expires on Monday. If you are a YouTube member, consider becoming a member, and you will get that little perk there. So there you go. There it is. Okay, use me as an example. What do you mean? Use you as an example? What do you mean, mate? Okay, use me as an example. What do you mean, Terry? It went through. I bloody mug ordered. Ah, you got the bloody mug. Yes, I saw that, and it's all gone through. So let me have a quick. Let's do some comments here. Let's have a little look. We're seeing. We'll keep an eye on Micron for a minute. Of Micron in the morning and open, I'm sure I will lose. Yes, I wouldn't want to buy it now, but that 17 times forward looks very attractive. Same here, Songs. I will wait again. It's like another Nvidia. It is. Help Micro for a couple of years. We'll hold Micron for a while longer yet. Did look good, didn't it? Micron already launched. If you have a smaller budget, look at data centers like Wolf, Cypher, Iran and Keel, says Paul Cassidy.
I can't believe this.
We got another. Oh, hang on. What's this?
Charlotte May Weddings Loot 6196 has become a member.
Oh, hang on. What was that? Upgrade of the membership. Charlotte May Weddings are a sponsor of the channel again. Well, you know what comes next. You know what comes next. Charlotte May. Whoops, hang on. I've got to do it. You know what I got to do? Hang on. Charlotte May Weddings. Charlotte May Weddings with everybody. I love it. Has become a sponsor of the channel. Just searching for it. There you go. It ranks number 1 now. Look at that. Right. So let me do this. I'm going to do it straight away. Charlotte May Weddings is back as a sponsor. Let me do this now. So we don't have sponsors on the channel. No one can corporately sponsor the channel. We get offered 30, 40, 50 grand all the time. What we do is we have you, the viewers, sponsor the channel. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to go over to... God, I haven't done this for a while. Hang on. Home tab. Of course I have. Hang on. Here we go. Featured channels. Here we go. Edit section. Let me go to Charlotte May. I'm doing it live on the show. Let me go to their channel. Go to channel. Pick that up. Bum, 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 bum. Got that there. Any channel. Yeah, put that there. Charlotte May Weddings there. Charlotte May Weddings there. Publish that. So, live on the show, they've just become a sponsor of the channel. And we're going to have some fun with this one straight away. Are you ready? So, everybody, would you please give a big shout out to Charlotte May Weddings? They are supporting the channel. They've just become a sponsor of the channel. And they get several benefits and perks and stuff like that. And it'll take a few seconds for it to come through. It won't happen straight away. But in a few moments, in the next half an hour or so, you will see here featured channels. You've got the extra, the clips, the music, and right there will be Charlotte May Weddings. So you can subscribe to their channel. But I know what they would really like. On top of that, is they would like you to click on their website. You haven't got to buy anything. You haven't got to pay anything. You haven't got to download anything. But by simply clicking on their website, makes them the #1 wedding website in the world. There you go. Here we go, everybody. Charlotte May Weddings in the chat. If you would just go there now and click on their website. I know all the members will because you want to help our members. They support the channel. You don't have to buy anything, download anything whatsoever at all. And by simply doing that, you are helping them rank higher, because if they get all these clicks all over the world, they get more. They rank higher up in the weddings website, the weddings index list. All right, and you might like to at the same time subscribe to their YouTube channel. Let me give you the link just there. There is Charlotte May Weddings, the YouTube channel. And that's a little bonus as well. So if that's what happens when you become a sponsor of the channel. Let's have a little look.
At Angel Martin has 8,190 tipped $2 through Super Chat. Do you think the defense play is dead?
No, I actually don't think the defense play is dead at all. That's where I want to be. I wouldn't want to be buying Micron tonight. I would have liked Micron yesterday, but I don't want Micron today. Let's see what happens in the morning. But those numbers were really good, but I would like a pullback on it. Now, that 17 times forward is very attractive. I will be honest with you. That was very nice, but I'm not going to rush out and buy this tonight. No, I'm not. But no, do I think the defensive play is dead? No, I still want to be there because despite all of this, I still do not see anything less than a $90 target, and I would rather be there. That's a 10% by the end of the year plus my 3%. Or 2.7, whatever it is, dividend. That's a much safer place to be. I can do that. Remember, I've already made money this year by doing lots of these trades. Now, I mean, I'm 3x the market. Now I would rather be safe and make money in a safe way. So there you go. Anyway, absolutely awesome. What a great night. Right, we've got 15 minutes to go before we start our Discord event. Everyone's giving Charlotte May a nice warm welcome. Cheers, Martyn. Thank you very much. Are you streaming the America 250 rally tonight, Martyn? No, we're done for the day. We've been live since 6 o'clock this morning. We are done. We've got a stage event to do on Discord, but after that, that'll be it. Welcome back, says DJ Hayes. Absolutely great. Yes. Really, really great. Way to go, says Paul Cassidy. Stephen Lewandowski. Hi, Charlotte May Weddings. Glad you are back. I am Stephen Lewandowski, if you may remember. Yes, of course he does. Amazing live stream. I will subscribe. Arjun here. Lovely to see you. Google will, thank you very much. Google will join the DAO, says Kipote. Again, that's a non-verified comment from a non-member. Charlotte, long time. There's some Liz from Germany. My friend from Austria said, you should make a t-shirt that says something with rubbish. Yes, many of you have asked for that, and I'm working on it as well. All right. I like you, Martyn. You joke like my mother. All right, Google will join the DAO. I've read that. Okay, I think I've read all the comments. All right, there we go. What a great night. Absolutely fantastic. So we're going to wrap this up, everybody. And Charlotte May Weddings, you might be interested to know, we've got a brand new shop and a brand new mug. There's only a handful left because it is the anniversary limited edition, 5th birthday. I know you collect them. There is the shop. We've got a brand new shop. Some things get delivered the next day. It's really cool. This is the shop. There is the happy birthday mug. We've now got big mugs now, better quality. You can pay in USD. There's pay now, buy now, pay later. Wouldn't recommend anyone do that, but people ask for it. We've got better prices than ever. From $17, you can get a really nice mug like that. Pretty cool, right? And on top of that, all members, and Charlotte May Weddings, you remember now, of course, go to the members tab at the top on the members page, and you can see the 20% discount you can get off that. So you can get a mug for $15. Really, really good. We've got hats, hoodies. We've got the Bloody Idiot hoodie and t-shirt in all sizes. Better prices than ever before. Better service, faster delivery. And I front-loaded by buying all this stuff to give you the best prices. And if you look inside, it's all branded as well. Look, we've got our own branded licensed products. So in the washing instructions is our logo. Pretty cool, right? So anyway, there you go. That's martynlucasshop.com. Right. It's 30 minutes to go. I'm going to be on Discord. I'll see you all there for a stage event. Let's discuss the trades. What comes next? Are we selling our Coca-Cola? Are we buying more? Are we going to start buying more Micron? Well, all these answers will be discussed and shared, and trades will be set up, no doubt about it, in Discord in just 12 minutes from now. That's it from me. Well, thank you very much indeed. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a real pleasure to be with you tonight. And, yeah, absolutely awesome. Oh, I bought. Hang on. Charlotte May Weddings just bought something. Oh, hello. Let me have a look. Let me go into the shop. Go into orders. I don't see it. You said you bought. Did you buy something from the shop? When was that? A few seconds ago? I don't see it. Daniel Clark. That was about. That was at 3-4. That was an hour ago. Daniel. Oh, Dan, innit? Sorry, mate. Yes. It was an hour ago. Yeah. Yes, I can see it now. Sorry, Dan. Check the mail. It's different. Yeah. I know. I can see it now. I can see Dan. It's Alicante in Spain. I know it's you. You got a mug and a Lucasade t-shirt. Great. You got the discount. There you go. Yep. Thank you, Dan. It was an hour ago. I just thought you did it just a second ago. Yep. Nice one, mate. Very, very good indeed. Right, that's it. I've only got 12 minutes. I've got to be in Discord. Coca-Cola is starting to come up again now. That's good. I'm happy. Let's see what happens. Right, that's it, guys. Thank you ever so much indeed. I'll see you all back on Discord in a minute. For the rest of you, I'm going to send you over to Extra. Look out for the shorts. I've done some analysis during the event tonight on Micron, broken down the facts. Little shorts, little clips. You'll see them on the Clips channel, Instagram, all the reels, all that good stuff. All right? So anyway, let me send you the link to here. And we're going over to Discord. Okay. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Charlotte May Wedding. Sorry, I got confused there for a minute. So live now on Extra. There you go. Pin that to the top. Let's rock and roll. I see you got your 1 year badge as well. You'll have 2 years soon. It's kept your history. Live now on Extra. There we go. Replace the pin. That's it. We're out of here. What a wonderful night. What a wonderful night if you bought Micron tonight. Oh, how about it? How about it? How about it? All right. See you on Extra right now and see you on Discord as well in 9 minutes. And then back in the morning for the opening bell. What will tomorrow bring? So much to do. So many analysis videos to do. Stock reviews to do. There's always something to do, isn't there? It's what makes life interesting. Wherever you are in the world, please keep cool. Try. I know it's very difficult without air conditioning. A lot of people suffering. And I really feel for you. All right, guys. That's it from me. Take care of yourselves and each other.